We're talking about a good time. We're chasing every moment, all the good nights. We're always looking out and it's a good life. We go around the world for a show. And it's a good time. We're chasing every moment, all the good nights. We're always looking out and it's a good life. No, we are never letting this go.
I've been trying to film this for about 25 minutes, and every time I start, the dog goes mad. I don't really know why. I think he's trying to tell me something. So, I'm going to just start, and there's a very high chance we're going to be interrupted by a highly excited barking puppy. But you know, hi, welcome to my life. So, today's quite a sad day, and yet an exciting day. Hello. Yes. Overexcited. Really? 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 25 minutes this has been going on for. 25 minutes. I don't know why. Anyway, let's start again. Today is quite exciting / sad / weird / I don't know. We are selling our motorhome. And that won't come as a surprise to anyone who's on our mailing list. But we have been thinking about this for a long time, ever since we saw those ones in February at the NEC, and we thought, ooh, now that there's only two of us that travel in the van, now that Jade's all grown up and stuff, we are constantly aware, I'm really sorry if the camera's shaking, he's jumping around all over the place. We're constantly aware that this van is very big for two people, and that we are paying an awful lot extra on all sorts of things, actually. I'll go through the pros and cons of a van over 3.5 tons in a bit. But yes, having rented or borrowed a van that was under 6 meters and seen how easy it was and how much space there was, we're very much looking for a smaller van. So we have decided to sell this one so that we can buy a smaller van. Unfortunately, that's the way that it's going to work. We know what we're looking for, sort of. We definitely need a motorhome or a camper with at least 2 separate seating areas so that we can both have somewhere to work from. We also need somewhere with at least an extra seat so that we can take Jade on the occasion when she wants to come with us, and we've got somewhere secure that we can put the dog in his crate when we're travelling. We definitely want somewhere, this is going to sound really weird, but I really like having a window at the rear of the motorhome, which is something I never thought about. But like when you have the end bathroom, it's quite dark on that end, and also you can't see out the back. And when we tow so much, I know we've got a reversing camera, but towing so much, it's quite nice to be able to see all the way through and make sure that both bikes are still on the trailer, and exciting things like that. So that's something that we're looking for. I don't know if that's a deal breaker. We'd like somewhere that's got a slightly bigger bathroom, although, as always, that will be our compromise point. The problem is, because we want 2 seating areas, and we love our U-berth seating at the back, which we'd quite like to find again, and amazingly, there are vans under 7 metres that have got like a proper U-bit at the back. Who knew? So because we want that, and then ideally in an ideal world we would want another dinette at the front. Basically we want our exact van, just smaller. But because we want the 2, obviously you've got one end, you've got the dinette at the other end, and the only place for the bathroom is in the middle, which means a small bathroom like what we have now. So I think that's going to be our compromise. Although we would love, like we had in the Bailey, we had the separate shower and the nice little toilet area and the big bathroom, and it was a joy. I don't think that we're going to find a van that has the layout that we want with a bathroom that we want. I just don't think it's possible to do it without it being like 8 meters long, which is what we've got now. So that is our exciting news. We are currently in France. We are driving back, not as we speak, but today we're heading back towards the UK. We hope that we have found someone to buy the motorhome. But if not, you might see it on Auto Trader. Give us a ring. Who knows? So we're going to be back in the UK. When's this going to come out? This is going to come out on Sunday morning if I can get it edited and uploaded in time. Signal is being an absolute pain at the moment. I can manage to edit and everything, but trying to get it uploaded to YouTube is like no. So I don't know what we're going to do. If we can't, it'll come out at some point. And by that point, all this might be really old news. If you want to hear the most up-to-date news, Facebook's always a good one. But my subscribers hear everything first. So if you'd like to get on the mailing list, it's wandering-bird.com. I will leave a link below. And there are boxes on pretty much every post. Somewhere on a post will be a box to sign up to the mailing list. And if you sign up there, I make sure that they know everything first, which I think is only fair. So yeah, if you want to hear what's going on and find out what we buy first and get some photos and maybe even a video if we're organised enough, then yeah, head on up to there. And eventually I will share a video and a tour and everything of our new van. So it'll all be on YouTube at some point. So lots of people, when I sent out an email saying that we were going to sell the van, asked what were the pros and cons of having a motorhome over 3.5 metres and if we're like totally against it. And the answer is no, not at all. I think if you have a bigger family, as in bigger over 2, and you certainly need the extra seat belts, or you need extra seating, or you need the extra berth space. I mean, this van can seat 6 with seat belts, proper fitted seat belts. It can sleep 6. For a family, it's an amazing way to have a holiday, and you don't get a decent sized motorhome with enough space for 6 people, or even for 4 people, without going, I would say, over 7 metres. I know there are people who travel with young kids or with kids in general in a camper of like 5.5 metres, and I am in awe of you. I'm not saying it can't be done. I'm saying that there isn't enough space for me to want to do it with a kid or 2 or friends or something. We like having a little bit more space to spread out. So there's nothing against 3.5 metre nothing against 3.5 metre motorhomes. There's nothing against vans that are over 3.5 tonnes, but there are some definite cons. So the pros, just to recap, are the space and the storage. Oh my god, the storage is amazing. I am a little bit worried about how we're going to fit everything that we store in this van. We've emptied it, or we sort of piled it into things so that we can empty it quickly when we arrive back. And it's terrifying how much we've got. I'm not even going to give you a sweep because there's just bags and things everywhere. I've cleared this little space so it all looks nice and neat, but it's really not. And it's just, we've got a room here. We're staying at a friend's, in a friend's drive at the moment. And we've sort of got a room where we've been storing stuff. I might put a photo up of that just to show you the chaos while we've been sorting out. And also sorting out, it's been really good to do actually, because sorting out what we put on board, like, we've had this van a year and a half, so what we put on that we've never touched and we haven't even looked at. What's on for emergencies, like, to be fair, like our snow chains, when we randomly detoured into the Alps and discovered that there was still snow. Although we didn't have to fit the snow chains, we were legally obliged to carry them in case we had to. So those things have been useful, and it's good to know exactly where they are. Things like the genset, and this was our issue with a van under 6 metres, was we have all the stuff and we do use all the stuff. We've used the genset a handful of times when we've been in the middle of nowhere and needed some power and wanted to stay for a few days. So we carry quite a lot of kit because of the way that we do our motorhoming, and because of the way that we like to go off grid for several days at a time, as long as we possibly can, until our waste and tanks need refilling and emptying. So yeah, we are slightly different in the requirements that we have, but that's the beauty of having so many different types of motorhome on the market, is that there will be a layout and a selection of vans that's right for you. So the pros are obviously size and storage and just amazing place to live. The cons of having a van over 3.5 tonnes pretty much all come down to when you want to tour in Europe. Most of them. Let's go for 80% come down to when you want to tour in Europe. Everything costs more. You know, your tolls are so much more money. When we went to Norway, and obviously we bought the toll pass, and the name of which now escapes me. Bro something. I've got a Norway post on my blog and it's all on there if you want to look it up. But obviously we declared that we were over 3.5 tonnes and they were extortionate. Now I know Norway tolls are quite expensive anyway, but honestly it cost us $200. 200 euros. My brain's on America. We'll get to that. It cost us 200 euros to get back over that huge bridge from Sweden back into Denmark. And again, the name of that bridge has escaped me, but the big long one, the bridge. So we took the ferry up to Norway from Denmark, and then we got the bridge back through Sweden. And that was like, it was 200 euros. That's just one bit. It was ridiculous, the money that we spent on tolls on that trip. and on the little ferries, because we were longer, and obviously then we have a trailer as well, everything just costs more. We would love to go back up there, but at the moment I don't think we could afford it. Things like going into Switzerland. Switzerland was amazing. It was where we decided that I was going to quit my job and we were going to head off and we were going to go to the motorhome, and we stayed in the Alps and we wild camp under the Milky Way, and it was magical and I want to do it again. But trying to get into Switzerland with a motorhome over 3.5 tons is a pain. It can be done, but you have to go to a proper border and you have to fill out a load of paperwork and you have to wait for somebody to be free to, you know, check it all out, and it takes a couple of hours. And yeah, we've not gone back to Switzerland since we visited to the Rhine Falls, and the thought of doing it and all the paperwork and everything is putting us off going, which kind of defeats the point. So for us, it has definitely been a con to go over 3.5 tons. Oh, the other thing is that the speed limits through Europe are lower, much lower, if you have a vehicle over 3.5 tons. So I'm trying to think of an example off the top of my head, and that's a bad idea because I might get it wrong. But normally, okay, so in France, the normal motorway speed limit for cars, unless obviously a lower one is 130. And I'm pretty sure a vehicle over 3.5 tons can't go over 90. I think. Wow, that was a big lorry just went past. I'm pretty sure, so 90 is our speed limit. In reality, we have to have the little stickers on the back. I'll be honest, we haven't put those on yet. We probably should have. But yeah, so you are restricted. I think it's 50, 80, 90 are your main speed limits. They're a lot lower. So obviously, journeys take longer. And now we want to go down to places like Croatia, where we're going to go in end of September, beginning of October. Getting down there, it just takes so much longer. So we have decided that that is a huge reason to go back under 3.5 tons. And the other thing is we want a motorhome that is at least under 7 meters. I mean, we were looking under 6, but I don't think we're going to find what we want under 6. So I'm kind of saying 6.5 is about right for us. That little extra half meter probably will give us that extra seating area that we want. And with that, we will be able to fit, hopefully, into 2 parking spaces again, which is something, again, that we can't do at the moment because we're bigger than 2 parking spaces. So if we go into a supermarket, normally you can park in your motorhome. We could park our old motorhome with a trailer into the 2 spots, so you could just slide in. But we can't with this van. We hang over either side, which means that I end up having to go do all the shopping, which to be fair I do anyway. But if we want to go to an attraction or something, parking is an absolute pest. So we always have to find really long things. I mean, there are loads of airs that we can't stay in anyway, because a lot of airs are up to like 7 meters or even 8 meters. But with the trailer on, we're nearly 10 meters. In fact, no, what are we now? This van's 7.83 meters. Yeah, we're over. We're over 10 meters. So yeah, there are some big reasons to downsize for us. We want to go off and do some more long-term trips, although I'll be honest, our next long-term trip of like 4 or 5 weeks might be Canada. I'm hoping for New Zealand, but I think that's unlikely because obviously in New Zealand you have to go in the winter. And I don't think we're going to get a winter off for another couple of years. But we might get a month in Canada next summer. I'm hoping, maybe June. I'm working on Mr. Wandering Bird at the moment. I'm sort of leaving hints that that might be a really good way to spend June. We'll see what happens. Anyway, I said I was going to talk to you about America. So we are going to Niagara Falls in like 3 weeks time, which is quite exciting and totally unplanned and a bit impromptu. So he's got a client over in America who he's going to go see, and one thing we always do is put all of our like shopping bills and anything that we buy through our British Airways Amex card as much as we can. Anywhere that will take Amex, we stick it on the card and we pay it off every month. And that has given us a 2-for-1 companion voucher. So we bought his flight and we managed to get mine for free, which is amazing. So he's had to go over there anyway, and we've tagged on a few days. He's going to just outside Chicago. And then we've tagged on a few extra days to go to Niagara Falls, which is awesome. So we're having like a mini road trip. We were debating hiring an RV, but just the way that it's worked out, we needed to hire a car anyway. So we're actually just going to hire a car and stay in some hotels or somewhere. We're doing our usual thing. of sort of wild camping, but with hotels, because we've planned Niagara and we've booked a hotel up at Niagara because apparently they get fully booked, understandably. But we've got like 2 nights in between where we have to kind of do things. I think we've got a night there and a night back, and we haven't booked anything, so I don't quite know how it's going to work. We're just going to kind of turn up and drive till we find somewhere to stop, I think. Or maybe sleep in the car. That might be an adventure. I don't remember the last time I slept in a car. It's been a while. Probably a long time. I don't know. 19 years maybe since I slept in a car, so we might do that. That could be quite good fun. So yeah, Puppy is sighing and he's fallen asleep because he's being left behind, bless him. He's not coming to America with us. And then after that, what are we doing? No, the summer we're spending mostly in France in our new motorhome. We're taking it for a bit of an adventure, and then friends have got a weekend at their house where they're so cool. They have a lake in their place in France. They have like 60 acres or something, and they've got a lake in the bit of it. And they have this raft weekend, and they build rafts and everyone goes out and camps. It just sounds amazing. So we're going there for the weekend, and then we are just having a bit of a chilled August. We've got family coming out to see us and things for their birthdays. And then September, end of September, we are hopefully going down to Croatia and Slovenia for a couple of weeks in our new motorhome. So we've been debating all sorts of things with the new van. It's going to be really interesting. Things like the hydraulic legs. Are we going to put the hydraulic legs on? We've taken them off our van, which is a nightmare. I still need to do. In fact, you will definitely see this motorhome again, because I've still got the hydraulic leg video that I filmed that I haven't actually like edited or uploaded yet. So this van will come back at various points and you'll get all confused. But so there's the van, the video about whether or not those are worth fitting. There's the video about the SOG unit that we fit to the toilet and whether we will fit another one. There's the video about, what else have I done? I've done a couple of videos that will feature this at some point. But yeah, so we're debating, do we put the hydraulic legs back on the motorhome? If you have got hydraulic legs and you're going to change vans, oh my goodness me, do not try and take them off yourself. I mean, it saved us £500, which is a lot of money, which is why we took them off ourselves, but it was a nightmare because we didn't have, obviously they have the special ramp and the thing so you can get underneath it. And normally, if we want to get under our van, we use the hydraulic legs, but we couldn't because we were disconnecting them. So we had the old ramps and the jack and stuff that we would normally use or used to use to changing tyres and things, and trying to wedge this up, but trying to get into the crevice to get these legs off was a pain in the backside. So we are debating whether or not to put them on our new motorhome because they weigh quite a lot. And yeah, I suppose it will depend on the van whether or not it's worth it. And the same with the SOG unit, it will depend on what we get and on whether or not we feel it needs it. And I'm not sure we had the SOG unit long enough to really test it out, but we're going to use it for the next few days. So that is the most exciting bit for us. The other advantage of getting a motorhome under 3.5 tons is that I will be able to drive it again. And I've been saying for I don't know how long that I need to do my C1, and I do need to do my C1, but we're not in the UK for an awful lot of time. And when we are in the UK, we're running around and we're not planning our time back to the UK necessarily. So we'll, park up and fly back for a few days. And it's really hard to be able to book in all the different things I have to do. And we're getting to the point that it's silly that I can't drive the van from a safety point of view, if nothing else. But like when we go down to Croatia, we've got huge miles of motorways to get through. And it's daft that he has to do it all by himself. So yes, we want to downsize. That's another reason, was that we can downsize. And then again, all the tolls going all the way down there, we can happily say that we are a class 2. And so we will always get a low line. It'll be under 3 meters. It will be under 3.5 tons. And I mean, it will be sort of 9 meters long. So in Italy, they're very hot on being a class 3 if you have 3 axles. And obviously the trailer makes it a 3rd axle. I need to do a video on this actually, because somebody asked me this the other day. But yeah, so if you're class 2, you're basically 2 axles, which is what most motorhomes if you're under 3 meters tall, that's what you would be. They don't tend to check your weight. I think you're supposed to be under 3.5 tons as well for a class 2, but yeah, they don't check your weight. So we've got away with that quite a lot. But in Italy, they're really hot on if you've got 3 axles, you're a class 3. And that's quite a bit more money actually than a class 2. So we will see. We were debating sort of skirting Italy, but we've got such a long drive that we're just going to cut across the top of it. At some point I'll plan my route out and we can see where we're going to end up. So I think that's it from me. I don't think I've got anything else that I wanted to talk to you about. Not really. We are selling our motorhome. I feel a bit sad. It's the end of Wonder. We're going to need a new name for the new van. And we need to decide whether we're going to wrap the new van as well, because I love the wrap. I can't believe we wrapped our motorhome and then decided to sell it. That was a bit silly, wasn't it? So we need to decide, but it was quite a lot of money and I'm not sure at the moment we can afford to get it done again. So it might just be a normal motorhome in whatever wrap it comes with. But hey. So hopefully, I won't say the next time you see me because I don't know how long it's going to take to find one, and there might be another video out next week at some point. Who knows? I might do one of those ones that I've had sitting around for ages. Then I might find to get around to editing it. So I'm not entirely sure what you're going to see next week. It might be a new van, it might not. But either way, I hope you have a fantastic week. I can't believe it's the start of June. Is it the start of June? Yes, it is. It's Saturday day. I'm going to be really good and edit all this in one day and get it out for you tomorrow. So yes, it's the 1st of June today. I'm quite terrified that we are nearly halfway through the year. And summer is starting. It's beautiful over here in France at the moment. I hope it's nice in the UK when we come back, but who knows? We're coming back by the tunnel this time because the ferry wanted about 350 quid for the motorhome, and we were like, no, do you know what? We'll drive that extra 6 hours. So yes, I think it's because the end of half term, it was just not a good time. Hi, are you coming to say goodbye too? You coming to say goodbye too? All right then. Bye. See you soon. You're panting so loud. You've been having fun. You've been having fun running around in the garden. You've been running around in the garden. Yeah? Okay. Bye.
So when they are gone, then we are out. We're talking about